I'm driving 5 hours to meet a woman I've been chatting with for 3 days. I'm 36, and she's 32. I've been on dating apps and platforms for close to 2 years and had horrible success. Like very few matches and no meetup levels of success. Well, I joined a dating Discord for people who play a specific MMO, and this wonderful woman messaged me and we've been talking for the past 3 days. But wow, I've never felt sparks like this before. She's from the NE but is moving to the south, a few hours away from me. But right now, she's still fixing up her new house before moving from the old one. Anyway, she's at the new place doing some painting and a few other odds and ends this week before flying back. But we've just been hitting it off so well that I offered to drive over so we can do a meetup now and help her out for a day or two if she wanted. She agreed, so I'm headed over this Saturday. I'm slightly worried this could be some weird scam, but I don't have much to be stolen, so it'd be a lot of effort for little gain on her part. But if this is real, I also have other concerns. Is this going too fast? I'm also a virgin, so I'm already super anxious, and the way she's talking. We'll be sharing a bed the one night I sleep over. I don't know brothers, a lot is going on in such a short amount of time. I need some outside perspective. Edit, I'll still be going, but I only take myself and my clothes. I'm also a mechanic, so I know how to make my car not crank since that'll be the most expensive thing. I'll also get a hotel room for myself for the night, give a friend my location, and check in with him at the end of the day. I'll update you next week if I'm still alive. Thanks. Update 3 days later. It wasn't a scam. It ended up being a 6-hour drive, but it was so worth it. I barely got 3 hours of sleep the night before the drive as my nerves were a mess, but I got there safely. Messaged her every time I stopped for gas and 10 minutes before arriving. She texted we were going to kiss when I got there, and between the lack of sleep, having only 2 energy drinks and water in my stomach, and the massive amounts of anxiety, I thought I was going to throw up. Finally, I get there and she comes running up expecting a kiss, and what do? Just a hug. I could feel her entering the embrace expecting the kiss. Ugh, I felt so bad. Then I asked her to tour the place and give me her vision of each room. I didn't hear anything she said because of all the emotions rushing through me. By the time we looped back to the kitchen I just went for it. Gave her probably the worst kiss she'd ever received, partly because at this point, I was starting to shake. I then said I needed to get my bag out of my car, but before I got to the door, she stopped me and asked if I wanted to try again. The third time was the charm. It was amazing. We went to a museum to just walk around and chat. She ended up holding her hand, and of course, the shakes returned. She commented about it, and I just told her, I really wanted to be here, but I hadn't had much sleep, and I'd been super anxious about the meetup for days. She was completely understanding and offered to go somewhere else or stop making physical contact. No, I want this, just bear with me. Next came dinner, and I had the idea to share a plate because I wouldn't eat much, and she said she wouldn't either. Got some barbecue and fries. Then we just picked at the food, barely eating anything while mostly just talking. She has a way of fitting in quirky, cute questions to fill the awkward silence, which was great because I was being massively awkward. We eventually got back to her place and just stood at the kitchen bar talking some more, and she made me some tea to calm me down. It's not late, but too late to go back out. No furniture outside of her brand new bed she just got set up the day before I got there. Oh boy, she asked what I wanted to do next, and I asked what she'd recommend. She said we could just chill on the bed, talk, sleep, or do anything I wanted. So we brush our teeth, get down to sleep, and then start having more conversations. Luckily, the one thing I'm good at is eye contact. After a few more quirky questions we start kissing and cuddling. I didn't even get to the more heated part before I spilled everything. Told her I was a virgin partly because I'm a demisexual and also because I've been dealing with past traumas for most of my 30s and just haven't been on the market. Again, she was completely understanding and told me we didn't have to do anything I wasn't comfortable doing. So we continued making out and cuddling, and she respected my comfort zone. I ended up staying an extra day. Day 2 was way better, and I'm not going into details, but I will say this. No walls got painted. She's amazing and beautiful, and I don't know what I did to deserve her, but I will do everything I can to hold on to her. I want to thank everyone who gave constructive feedback, both for and against. I read most of the replies in my notifications before I left. I really appreciated the extra perspective, considering how short-circuited this woman makes me. I also realize I should have clarified why I was a virgin before just saying it on the internet, but I wasn't too worried about details on that post as I was expecting maybe 10 replies, not 100s. The previous post made it sound like I was driving 5 hours for a booty call. Not the case. I was driving 5 hours because the conversations we had had up to that point, basically one day's worth, felt like a week's. Advice for anyone in a similar situation. Go for it, but be careful. I know the speed of my story seems like a red flag, but everything else was green. I still took some precautions and told people where I would be.